My 190E had become the car that years prior I had only dreamed. But then something started to happen. At that point, I needed to make a decision. I remember the first time I saw the Mercedes 190E. It was fall in the year 2001. Frankly, I thought it was a smaller version of a 124 chassis. But then I saw the Evo 2. And everything changed. Immediately, the Evo 2 became not just my favorite Mercedes, but my favorite car out of any marque. Only then did I start learning of the impact of the 190E. From its racing history, to its success in the DTM circuit, to how the 201 paved the way for the later 124. While I quickly came to grips with the fact that I would never own an Evo 2, a basic 190E was still obtainable. About 8 years later, in spring of 2009, the stars aligned and a 1991 2.6 became available for sale. It was signal red, had nearly 270,000 original miles, with a blown head gasket, and the paint was shot. But it still moved on its own power and the price was right. I brought it home and started tearing into it. I pulled the head, my dad helped me machine the valves, and soon I was driving my very own 190E. My dad, who was teaching auto body at the time, took the car and his class painted it a beautiful gloss black. While the paint looked great, the ride height looked like I was going rally racing. I needed to do something about that. After a proper lowering and some different wheels, my 190E was coming together. Maybe not an Evo 2, but it was every bit as cool to me. Fast forward years later to adding a Cosworth body kit and deciding on some wider wheels from a 203 C-Class, my 190E had become the car that years prior I had only dreamed. But then something started to happen. The year was 2025 and the 190E was becoming increasingly rare. In wanting to preserve the car, I was now not driving it enough. If I were being honest with myself, I was getting to the point where I was becoming afraid to even drive it. I had now fallen into the dreaded cliche of driving it to Cars and Coffee and then putting it away for another week. At that point, I needed to make a decision. Do I just start driving the wheels off of it until it falls apart or until someone crashes into it? Or do I sell it? As I started to give more consideration to the thought, I replayed the road trips I had taken in it. Michigan, Tennessee, Georgia, even to Florida and back. Running through the hills of Tennessee, I could easily see why the 190 was regarded as the best four-door sports car Mercedes ever made. It was definitely rad to see the thumbs up and even people reaching out of their windows to snap photos. And I remember what it was like when I first got the car. Maybe it was time to let someone else experience that for the first time. Maybe it was time to let another feel what it was like to finally own a car that had previously only been a dream. A car like this needs to be driven and enjoyed, and not just sit in a garage patiently awaiting its next peak of the sunshine. By fall of 2025, after nearly 17 years of ownership, I decided to say goodbye. It now has a new owner, and a new story will be written. Will I regret it someday? Will I look back and wish I still had it? Maybe. But even if I don't have the car, I have the memories, and those will be with me forever.